SpaceX went public. The opening day closed at $2.01 trillion. What kind of concept is that? You have to understand. Apple has reached $1 trillion market value. It took over 40 years to use. Musk himself. It has also become a part of human history. The first person to surpass $1 trillion in net worth. But on what grounds? SpaceX's revenue in 2025 will be less than $20 billion. How can they support a market value of over 100 times revenue? I thought. The answer isn't in SpaceX's financial statements, and in a capability Musk has repeatedly proven in the past. First, I have an outrageously big dream. Then, along the way, they found travel money one by one. What does that mean? SpaceX. Let the heavens charge fees. SpaceX's original vision. Not just an ordinary space company. Instead, it sent people to Mars, make humans multi-planetary species. This vision is truly ambitious. It's also very uncommercial, because no one pays to become a multi-planetary species. You can't just open a membership, $99 per month, subscribe to Mars civilization. So, Musk didn't sell it directly to Mars. He sold it to the heavens first. The first is the money transfer. Launch rockets. People are going to Mars and advance into space. As for going into space, someone pays the bill. NASA is going to deliver to the space station. The military wants to issue satellites. Previously, all this money went to traditional contractors. High cost and long cycle. How did SpaceX manage to reduce costs? Relying on reusable rockets. In the past, rockets were scrapped after just one launch. The cost is very high. Once it can be recovered, it can become a repeatedly used capacity system. But just firing for others isn't enough. When and how much others are distributed. SpaceX can only wait for orders. If you want a more stable income, you have to create your own demand. So Musk took a step forward. Since I can launch at a low cost, why not send your own satellite? Second transaction. Broadband monthly fee. This is Starlink. Launch communications satellites into space, selling internet services. At the beginning of this year, I took a group of entrepreneurs to Galapax. In such remote places, you can still access the internet. It relies on Starlink. Now, space companies have become space operators. 2025. Starlink's revenue was about $11.4 billion, accounting for 60% of total revenue. The third is a piece of financial security. Military orders. Starlink has even grown an upgraded version called Xingduan. Monopoly on the military and government. Ordinary people buy it to see if they can access the internet. The military bought the ones that could not be cut off in extreme conditions. High average transaction value. Seniority. But don't forget, these are just travel expenses, and it's not SpaceX's finish line. I want to go to the moon. Mars. You also need to apply enough force. So, Starship is here. The significance of Starship. It's not just a fantasy. In the future, it could send people to Mars. Instead, it was about moving things into space. Become cheaper. If space transportation is cheap enough, except for satellites, what else can be carried up? There's a detail here that many people overlook. Twitter, now known as X. It has long been merged into Xi. It was then packaged into SpaceX's IPO. So, RE has also been woven into SpaceX's story. What is the most expensive thing in the era of AI? Computing power. Computing power comes down to reality. It's like data centers. Data centers can require electricity. Space need the internet. It also needs to dissipate heat. These things are getting more and more expensive on Earth. But in SpaceX's hands, Starship is responsible for transportation. Starlink is responsible for connectivity. There is space in space. There is also solar energy. Is that possible? A portion of the computing power center moving from Earth to orbit. This is the fifth business SpaceX might grow. Return to the data center to add computing power services. Finally, let's review again. Low-cost launch, satellite internet, military communications, new transport capacity, space infrastructure in the RE era. 5 business areas. It basically forms a closed loop. Each circle is grown from the previous one. Each lap fuels the next lap. This is Musk-style Russian nesting dolls. Seeing this, you should get the idea. SpaceX's business has already been successfully launched. It can't support $2.1 trillion, the truly expensive ones. It is the market that believes it. Musk can also bring dreams, breaking it down into bills that someone pays for. And this matter. This wasn't his first time doing it. However, last time, the main character was Tesla. 2. Tesla continues to generate cash flow through software. Time goes back to 2004. At that time, electric vehicles were no good business at all. Expensive, poor range, inconvenient charging. So why did Musk do it? Because in his worldview, humans want to go to Mars. Energy transition is a must, not to mention anything else. Engines burning gasoline on Mars don't even catch fire. It still sounds quite uncommercial. No one will pay directly for the energy transition. Dreams are wonderful, but it doesn't automatically turn into a bill. So he did the same thing again. First, Find someone willing to pay first. Who will buy an electric car first? Not an ordinary family. They are people willing to pay for a sense of technology. So Tesla has no intention of making Volkswagen cars. Instead, they started with a Roadster, not cheap, sold for $109,000 in 2008. But this allowed Tesla to secure its first purchase order. It also proves that people are willing to buy electric vehicles. But after all, a car is just hardware. It's hard to keep the gap in this business. Today you have a fridge, a color TV, and a big sofa. Tomorrow, they will have it too. Hardware is hard to make irreplaceable. So Tesla has to move away from a one-time hardware business. It becomes a continuing business selling monthly fees. This is FSD, full autonomous. Just like the iPhone, every car is just an entrance. The valuable part isn't the one sold out. It's about how much you can connect to in the future. First quarter of 2026. FSD subscribers have grown to 1.28 million. That's $99 per month. This contributed about $380 million in a single quarter. And just like SpaceX, there's a bigger story behind Tesla. Reconstructing the energy system. Essentially, the car is a mid-range electric user. Behind it is a complete energy system. Where does the electricity come from? How to save it? How to manage it? So Tesla is more than just making cars. They also need to build battery energy storage, charging network, then combine them all. Look, it's another classic Musk-style nesting doll. A rocket is not just a rocket. It is an entry point into space. A car is not just a car. It is the entry point into the energy system. First, believe in a future. Then find the first group willing to pay for him, transforming one-time hardware into recurring bills. Then put it into a larger system. This is called finding travel money for your dreams. 3. Market-based investment. Could Musk still find the next round of money to get involved? Let's go back to 2008. SpaceX's first 3 test launches all failed. Rockets either catch fire within seconds of liftoff, or it would simply spiral out of control. Meanwhile, Tesla is also on the verge of collapse. Mass production of supply chain. Financing is all a problem. 2 companies, like 2 children lying in the emergency room. One of them can't run, one can't fly up. Musk became famous for his resilience. But during that period, he had reached his limit. Vomiting in the middle of the night. My toes stiffen when walking. What to do? Should I abandon one? Musk's decision was, I can't make a decision about who lives or dies, so I made the decision. Put it all together to save the 2 children. Everyone knows what happened next. The 4th launch was successful. NASA's big contract was won by SpaceX. Tesla has also weathered a production trough. It has become a global giant in new energy vehicles. This is the magic behind the words Musk. It is both an opportunity and a risk. He always manages to run a business that doesn't look very good. Run a good business. But ordinary companies. After finally running a profitable business, he wanted to hold on to it. He stepped aside. The old man pulled off a good business. Use it to feed the next business, which is even more expensive and far-reaching. He was extremely naive. On the other hand, he was extremely experienced. Innocence lies here. He truly believed that humans should go to Mars. Energy needs to be restructured. Sophistication lies in. He knew every step would cost money. Someone has to pay first. So, is SpaceX expensive? Of course, it's expensive. Will Musk fail? Of course it is. But the market still voted with real money. Because the market is truly buying. It was his next time. Is there still a chance to find travel expenses? Dreams can be far enough, but the travel expenses also had to be close enough. Follow Liu Run, lowering the cognitive barrier for business.